Good evening, teachers and my colleagues. Today we discuss the orbital tumors. Orbital tumors, they are the six clinical presentation of these two tumors are like proptosis, pain in eye. There may be a progressive is there. There may be pulsations might be there. There may be a tumor can be palpable, or there may be a periorbital changes. The orbital tumors can be divided into intracanalicular, extracanalicular, intraconal. For the intracanalicular, there may be early vision loss, papillary edema is there, and opticociliary shunt is there, and proptosis is there. In extraconal, there is non-symmetrical proptosis and vision loss is there, but it might be late. In intraconal lesion, the visual loss is the primary early clinical feature with impairment of the mobility, and axial proptosis is the primary clinical presentation. Surgical indication is to biopsy the lesion those are affecting the vision, lesion affecting the globe, and those who are compressing the optic nerve. The classification is maybe include the primary, secondary, metastatic. It may be conal, intraconal, extraconal, or intracanalicular. The pathological DDs are the cystic. There may be dermoid, epidermoid, vascular like hemangiomas, lymphangioma, inflammatory pseudotumors, infiltrating tumors like lymphoid tumors, mesenchymal tumors like lipoma, fibroma, neurogenic tumors like glioma, meningioma. Lacrimal gland tumors are there, which may be adenoma or carcinoma. Metastatic like neuroblastoma, even sarcomas are there in the children, and intraocular tumors like retinoblastoma, which is also there found in the children's. And mainly the pediatric tumors are the like dermoid cyst is there, the capillary hemangioma is there, and rhabdosarcoma is a metastatic tumor. In adult, there is a lymphangioma, cavernous hemangioma, meningioma, and optic nerve glioma. This is the cystic tumors which are seen in these cases. Cystic tumor, they are the mostly a space occupying mass in an orbit with a 50 to 60% of excised orbital tumors in the children's. It is frequently located in the anterior part of the orbital septum along with frontozygomatic suture. A small cyst closely observed large cyst, the excision should be done in toto. Vascular tumors are approximately the 50% of the total series like capillary hemangioma. This is the most common orbital tumor in the child. There is a spontaneous involution can be seen. Visual preservation seen up to the last date is the dictum of the management. Observation with steroids and CO2 laser and intravitreal gamma ray. Cavernous hemangioma mainly seen in adult. It is the most common adult tumor. It is well circumference and the surgical excision gives the good results. Lymphangioma are seen in adults. They are the 1 to 3%. They are the slow growing tumors. They are the soft blushy mass at the supranasal quadrant. Bleeding may be there with forms the chocolate cyst, and surgical debulking and steroid is the mainstream of the management. Neurogenic tumors include the glioma, meningioma, neurofibroma, schwannoma, extension neuroblastoma, paraganglioma, and melanotic neuroectodermal tumor. These tumors are the not primary orbital tumors. They are the extensions of the nearby structures. Optic nerve sheath meningiomas, they are the 2% of orbital tumor, 1 to 2% of the meningiomas. The optic nerve sheath meningiomas are mainly intraorbital in origin. 8% are there in the having intracanalicular region, and extracanalicular region is the extension of both intraorbital or intracanalicular region. They can present bilaterally or multifocally in neurofibromatosis 2 patients having a triad of presentation like vision loss, optic atrophy, and optociliary shunt. Management recommendation is the observation without treatment should be performed only with caution. Surgery is only done when there is indications of functional vision loss, disfiguring proptosis, or having intracranial extensions. Stereotactic fractionated radiotherapy or stereotactic radiotherapy having a better visual outcome. Chemotherapy include in those with an unresectable recurrent tumor or the post-radiotherapy, which include 5-fluorouracil, fluoride, and levetiracetam. Optic nerve glioma, they are the 3 to 5% of child brain tumors. They are the 10 to 30% of neurofibromatosis. One typically occur in the first decade of life. Optic disc and optic nerve involvement is 24%, chiasmal involvement in 40 to 75% of patients, presenting as a visual loss, proptosis, strabismus, and endocrinopathy. Histology is the pilocytic astrocytomas, fibrillary astrocytoma, pilomyxoid astrocytoma, biopsy. If only the biopsy is the only treatment, if unusual clinical and radiological finding. There is an enhancement of the optic nerve without calcification. They may be a tubular fusiform and lobulated. They classify as a J-shaped sella Optic foramen view, optic foramen is greater than 7 mm and difference between more than 2 mm between the two foramen. T2 weighted demonstrate the homogeneous high signal intensity that affect the optic nerve in contrast to the low signal in the C-shape, L-shape unaffected optic nerve. Management include newly diagnosed optic nerve glioma. Surgery is the primary mode of treatment. Single surgery with disfiguring proptosis, blindness, exophytic asthmal tumor with hydrocephalus. Chemotherapy with the first line of symptomatic optic nerve glioma is beyond observation. Pressure region radiotherapy is progressive asthmal tumor in greater than 10 years of age, 40 to 50 gyri to be given. Confining to the optic nerve treatment is 0% tumor related mortality. Observation can be done, but 21 exhibits the progression, 5% may die, 91% remain stable, having a stable vision. Asthmal glioma 42% rate of progression and recurrence, 29% having a tumor related mortality. There is a good prognosis in neurofibromatous one patient and with the anterior located tumors. Poor prognosis is the young age of presentation. Peripheral nerve sheath tumors considered 5 to 15% of the orbital tumors, mainly arises from the third and fourth nerve, mainly of solitary neurofibroma, diffuse neurofibroma, plexiform neurofibroma, schwannomas, malignant nerve sheath tumors. Solitary neurofibroma get 3 or 4 decays, slowly progressive painless proptosis with minimally or no visual dysfunction, typically located in the supraorbital lateral quadrant. This they on MRI they look iso-intense on T1 and hyper-intense on T2 with a pseudocapsule is there. Prognosis is good. There is no need of post-excision radiotherapy. Plexiform neurofibroma arises mainly in neurofibromatosis, which occur mainly in children and infants, and having a palpable mass of eyelid with subsequent proptosis and lid hypertrophy, may spread to the local forehead and adjacent region of the temple bone. Schwannomas, neurofibromas occur in second to fifth decade of the life, having a male predisposition towards the female, usually originated from the sensory branch of the trigeminal nerve. High incidence in neurofibromatosis is well encapsulated, and this is causing a proptosis, trigeminal dysfunction of the pain and numbness, ISO2 hypointense in relation to the orbital fat, and varies degree with contrast enhancement. Malignant transformation is rare. 8% of the orbital tumor are metastatic. They are most common in a woman with a breast cancer and most common in a man with a prostate and a lung cancer. Symptoms of the proptosis, diplopia, pain and progressive loss of the vision. Present in a 7 decade of life. Stereotactic efficacy is the diagnosis can be done. Prognosis is very poor. Radiotherapy, chemotherapy or hormonal treatment should be done. Fibrous dysplasia, they are the small calcareous bone replaced by the immature woven bone by the fibrous tissue. They are the 2.5% of our orbital bony tumors. They occur mainly in the frontal sphenoid, ethmoid and maxillary sinuses. Sclerotic, cystic and mixed variety is seen. They are causing a ground gloss appearance on the CT scan. Cosmetic deformity or progressive visual loss is the indication of the surgery. Thank you.